I'm Jules Thought. Today is September the 12th, 2022. It is Monday, and I am tired. And yes, there is a picture of the talented and intelligent and wonderful Plunder. And I decided for this short live that I'm going to use Plunder's video because it's so clear. So, Plunder, thank you. And I just am using this just to have a brief discussion. Okay. I hope you will go over to her channel, watch, give her a like, subscribe if you haven't already. But very many, most in fact, of my subscribers are already subscribers of Plunder. So, anyway, she's wonderful. So, let me go ahead. Oh, by the way, speaking of, I got the most bizarre comment from a really nice person, Backwoods. She's a great person, but she said that somebody told her that I was love bombing her. Is that bizarre? Anyway, very strange, but anyway, I'm just amazed. I'm always just shocked by YouTubers and what they can come up with. I think I know what channel it's coming from, so we're not going to worry about it too much because there's a lot of strangeness in that channel. Okay, so obviously this is Kiely Rodni's car, and I wanted to use this video because it is so clear. Now, you can watch this from all the way around, starting at the driver's side, where you can clearly see that the driver's side window is intact and closed. This is the passenger side. And I want to comment about what I see here. It's so strange. Well, that's not really a good place to stop. Yeah, I went too far. Hold on. Gotta hit it just right to get the good view, the good perspective. There it is. Okay, that's what I want to look at. Now, this is the weirdest case. Okay, I want to be careful. I do. Okay, I really do want to be careful. I don't want to have any disrespect toward her family, her memory. I don't. But also I don't think I have any interest in living in La La Land. I don't have any interest in denying what my own eyes and ears can see and hear. I know what reality is. Am I right or wrong? You guys know what reality is. So I'm, on the one hand, I'm struggling with respecting grief, respecting the needs of the family to grieve in their own way. And then reality, right? And I know, let me say this too. I recognize that there are people that like their privacy, and the last thing in the world they want is to have their family being discussed by thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of strangers around the world. Now, for the most part, can we agree we're not really discussing Kiely, right? We're not sitting around talking about Kiely doing this or that, or she's this person or that person. That's really not what's being discussed. To be fair, that what's being discussed is the evidence of this accident. What is being discussed is the ineptitude or planned failure of the law enforcement officials involved. And what is being discussed is the the atypical behavior of the kids, the young adults that were involved in this. Now, there's also some YouTubers that have inserted themselves or been pointed out. There, we got a few country and western celebrities that are now on the line. I mean, we got this thing is a smorgasbord of craziness, right? But I'm not going to deny my reality. I'm not going to do that. And I don't think anybody should. I don't care how hard they try to shut down conversation. I don't care how hard they try to fight and say, how dare you? You don't have a right to discuss the elements of this crime or the missteps of law enforcement. You just don't have that right. You just need to sit back and hush up and not say a word. Don't you see this was just one big accident? And how dare you try to turn it into a crime? There's absolutely no evidence that there's any funny business going on here. Everything that's come out, it's all been made up by YouTube's creators, correct? Am I right? If you agree that it's been a very nasty, negative environment for conversation, put a 1. If you think this is just perfectly delightful and people are, happy to talk about it, put a 2. I think I know what we're going to be seeing. Tons of 1s. 1s. Hey, Shaylee. Hi, Sky Blue. Hey, Kathy. I've learned a lot, so shall I. Gearhead, welcome. Hey, Damron. AP, Paula Mooney, Elizabeth Gregory, Randy Hindman. Okay, this is what I expected. Okay, this crazy. We did experience a little bit of this objectively by comparison. We did experience this attempt to shut down conversation in the Chris Watts case, but that came 2 years after the case was over. Years. This they've been trying to shut down conversation since before the silly car was found. Now, we're being told this is all in our imagination. We're being told that we don't know what we're talking about. We have been told that it is all an accident and that we're making things up. And I feel like I've been gaslighted. That's the truth. I feel like I have been intentionally misled at times. And then watching this, and I don't know how many times I've watched it. We've all watched this many times, right? Watching this over and over, trying to see if there was something else here that I could see. Talk about items. If you look on the other side, there's some pencils that you can easily discern, And then I kept looking at this and I thought, this bothers me. Like, this really bothers me. And I kept thinking, why does this bother me so much? I'm going to see if anybody in here knows why it bothers me. What do you guys think? Somebody said I'm not even on panel. Sky Blue Moon, would you like to be on panel? They even shut down AWP from getting the car out. Yeah, absolutely. People are being negative toward AWP. And I'm going to say it, AWP is the cavalry. Okay? They're the rock stars here. They deserve everything. They deserve the reward. I am baffled, absolutely baffled that family did not get up on stage and thank Doug and Nick for bringing their baby home. I'm baffled. When I think about the idea of not knowing where my child is, I get the most sick, frightened feeling in the pit of my stomach. I cannot imagine spending the next 40 years of my life not knowing where my baby is. Why would you not be so grateful to what AWP did, right? It's crazy. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not passing judgment on the family. Please don't get me wrong. I'm saying there's an element of reality that is missing. It's just missing. Now, what do you think I'm talking about? Well, let's look at this picture. I like when there's somebody gaslighting, when there is someone who's interjecting chaos, misdirection, telling you that the grass is purple, that's when I like to get down to concrete, what I can see, what I can taste, what I can smell, what I can hear. Because people can't mislead true perception, right? There are some perceptual facts in this picture that tell me there is some major effery going on in this case. There is some major messing around in this case. Now, here's what I'm talking about. My kids, whenever it is going to be Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny or whatever, bringing gifts, in the dead of the night, it's a big thing for mom. Mom has fun. I mean, even Santa Claus even comes for my husband, okay? It's a fun thing for me. And I don't just go and buy one gift. There's usually like a suite of gifts that kind of all go together, and I make like this presentation, right? So I make it look really cute when they walk in the room, and I have all the different pieces placed. I place them so that they look cute together. It looks attractive. My daughter knows which ones are hers. My son knows which one are his. The stuff that I give, the gifts that I give them are arranged in an artistic form. What's wrong with this picture right here? This picture has been arranged. Did anybody notice that? These items in this picture are arranged. Now, this car went through chaotic maneuvers, correct? Denise, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. And yes, we must live in the real world. No imaginary, utopia, right? Real is real. So let's look at this. This is not, you think about what this car went through, okay? One way or the other, it ended up in the water. I believe it was backed into the water and maybe even backed off of a flatbed tow truck. But nevertheless, backed into the water or driven forward, either one, not going to argue that point. Okay, I respect all opinions. If the car spiraled down, then the items that are in the car would have been, at the very least, moved from the front seat to the back or the right to the left, right? If it spiraled down, coming to rest on its, on its top, but a little off center. If it was backed in or drove straight in, then the weight of the engine pulled it down, and the tires then made it go belly up, and then it sank down to the bottom. Which, again, you're talking about a real mashup of the contents of the car. It would have been like, shaking up a cocktail with ice in it, right? So the stuff would have been, and then of course the weightlessness from the water, and everything. The stuff would not have been organized it would have just been a mishmash. It would have just all kind of been tumbled upside down, sort of like the aftermath of a tornado. Even though there was a tornado and you walk over to the foundation of the house, you may find things that were in the bedroom now in the kitchen. You may find things that were once in the kitchen now in the top of a tree. It's chaos. It's a mess. It was everything was put in a bag and shook up and then dumped out on the floor. That's what the inside of this car should have looked like. And for the most part, can I say it does look like that for the most part. But I'm a visual person. I'm an artist kind of person. I'm having a lot of trouble with all the right angles, all the parallel lines. The fact that the Truly can has been placed parallel to the opening of the window with the name up so that we can all see, oh, look, she's drinking alcohol. Oh, look at there. There is a charger. And what did Sammy say? We're at the car charging our phones. I don't know if is that a hairbrush? Is that, I don't know what that is, but I don't like it because it's placed perfectly parallel to the charger and at a 90-degree angle from the Truly can. You've even got the white bag that some say if you win the fight at their little Truckee Fight Club, that you win some kind of white purse or something. And all of this is laid here at the window's edge. Look at the end of the purse compared to the width of the window. It's lying perfectly parallel to the window edge. How? How is that possible? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 items here perfectly parallel to the opening in the window. Not only, look at this. Look at the width between the left edge of the charger and the right edge of the bag. Look at how much space is in between it. Now go over to the other side and look at the amount of space between the right side of the charger and the side of the hairbrush. I'm talking about where the handle of the hairbrush is. It's perfectly the same size. And the Truly can is truly placed right there to make sure that it's not missed by a camera that she was drinking alcoholic beverages or someone was drinking an alcoholic beverage in her car. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you want to say about this. I know what my eyes tell me. And this is an organized presentation of items. Someone works retail. And I'm going to tell you straight up. You know what the first thing I thought of when I saw this? I thought of a young woman in a kayak. That was the first thing I thought of. Young woman in a kayak. These items are placed here for a reason. They knew, someone knew AWP was coming to town and AWP was going to find that car. And so what did they have to do? They have to shore up their story. There's a can of alcohol to prove that she was drunker and cooter brown. There's a charger to prove, oh, they must have been charging their phones. And I don't know why the white bag is laying there, but I'd be curious to know what was in the white bag. Yeah, Lolo, a kayak with scuba gear in it. I pulled it up. I have her video. I saved it on my hard drive, my external hard drive. There's scuba diving gear in that kayak. I didn't believe it until last night when I pulled it up. So we have 186 people in here right now. I want you to look at these items really closely. Okay. I want you to explain to yourself, how is it possible that the truly can land parallel to the window exactly perfectly to see the name on the product? How is it possible that the hairbrush or whatever that is landed perfectly perpendicular to the opening of the window? How is it possible that the charger is exactly parallel to the hairbrush and the purse, with the same distance between the purse and the white charger and the charger and the handle on the brush? How? Don't tell me that YouTubers are creating a spectacle. Don't tell me that people are making things up. This is reality right here. This is reality, y'all. No, I don't find it curious, Sasha. I think it's a oh shit moment. And I think it's another moment of, oh my God. Who's gonna deny this? There's no doubt that right there, that is planted evidence, and it is arranged. We don't know by who. We know that there was Xana May was there. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt she was there. What is CM? CM whispers. There she is in her video. What are you talking about, Felicia? Oh, okay. Xana May says that at what mark? Let me see. 13 minutes, around 9 seconds. I'm totally pulling it up, Felicia. Thank you for that. Hi, John. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, Mike, I'm highly skeptical of the laptop. I am highly, highly skeptical of the information being pulled out of the bottom of that reservoir. For one, here's one problem we have. If this thing even tries to go to court, you can't admit any of this information, that the stuff that's been collected from the bottom of the reservoir. You're not even going to be able to submit that for evidence in a court of law. This case is so botched by the law enforcement. And frankly, I am shocked that there's anyone left who will say, yeah, yeah, the law enforcement is kind of shady in this case. There's been some really unusual stuff. People that are still saying, no, don't, law enforcement's great. They were awesome. We love our police. Oh yeah. Sam Brown, he's the bee's knees. Oh yeah, we're feeling good about this case. We're feeling good about our law enforcement. Boy, they have really knocked this one out of the park. Great investigation, guys. Just great. When I hear someone saying that, my jaw hits the ground. My jaw hits the ground. This picture is staged. That means we don't know where the Truly can came from. We don't know where the charger came from, and therefore we don't know where the laptop came from. We don't know. We don't know. It has all become so suspect at this point. I'll tell you one thing I'm struggling with. We hear from Check It TV that he contacted the police to say, hey, I'm out at the reservoir and there are items on the floor right where Kiely's car was. There are things there. I'm looking at it. I can see it. And he says that he got no response. And then he begins, he does another video where he's actually brought items supposedly out of the water and placed it at water's edge. And then you've got one cop, one sheriff's department guy walking down the hill. One, just one. Check It doesn't leave the video running as the cop approaches. He turns it off. Why? Oh my God. That sucker would have kept running, and I would have made sure that I got as much of it recorded as humanly possible. And then he goes down there, he gets this laptop and brings it up. I can't imagine anyone who at this point is willing to let Sheriff Shannon Moon and Captain Sam Brown walk away from this thing without some questions being answered. I'm talking about in a legal forum. I'm talking about internal affairs. I'm talking about an investigation by the state of California. Look at this picture, y'all. Look at the picture. This picture is not a natural phenomenon. Those items were placed carefully in a presentation. Barbara says the guy is dodgy AF, inserting himself. Well, there's things even more dodgy than that, Barbara. I promise. And about the only way that I can think of talking about it, covering it, would be to do it like on maybe do a Zoom call, or maybe, I don't know, some private. I mean, the information is pretty explosive. I won't be the one to do a YouTube video on it. But anyway, back to this picture. One thing in this picture that, people will say, no, Jules, these things landed like this. This is normal. I don't even know how you can get there at this point. This is normal, really? Let's just take a little poll and see. We got 260 people here. Hi, Dr. Latina. Thank you. Please Zoom call me. Absolutely, Amy. Okay, let's do this. There's 260 people in here. I just want to ask you something. Do you believe that this looks like the normal placement of 4 items after basically being turned hand over fist in a car flying through the water? Does this look like natural resting placement? That's first thing. Number 1, yes, this looks normal. The way these items settled, the white purse, the white charger, what looks to be a hairbrush, and then the alcoholic beverage can. Does this look like to you naturally these items would fall like this, that this is where they would come to their resting space naturally? If you say yes, put a 1. If you say hell no, put a 2. I'm just curious. We got 280 people in here. I want to see how many of you guys think this would be a natural result of items in a car that has just gone end over end through the water, finally coming to rest upside down. I'm still looking for a 1. Oh, we got a hell no, 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 no. Okay, we got a new song. Okay. No. Look at, okay, we got Mike says yes. That's okay, Mike. You can say yes. Brian Dodd says 679 joules. I can respect that, Brian. Okay. 2. Still, hey Jen, good to see you. Mad Chatter says a 1. Mad Chatter believes that this is a naturally occurring. All conveniently right there for you to see. Thank you very much. Constantly Criminal. There it is. You know what you're not going to miss, Constantly Criminal? You're not going to miss the fact that she was absolutely must have been drunk because there's a can of an alcoholic beverage. Correct? There you go. No, this is what we call contrived. And then look, yes, exactly. Look outside in the sand. Anything lying outside of that window? No, it all magically came to rest parallel or perfectly perpendicular to the window opening. It's just stupid. This is like eyes wide shut kind of stuff, right? Someone said the brush pulled from water wasn't the same brush. Yeah, I don't know. She was a sacrificial killing. Listen, Michelle, got to tell you this. I watched the coolest series on Netflix over the weekend. It's called The Devil in Ohio. You guys have to watch it. It was so scary, but really interesting, like suspenseful, right? I'm to the point I'm thinking, what's wrong with these people? The people in this area are just acting like this is all so normal, that this is what happens. It is just regular. I've been to the site of car accidents that were like rollover accidents. The crap is everywhere, y'all. It's everywhere. Stuff comes flying out of the truck and people have been looking for it for 3 years, How do you end up with 4 items so perfectly placed right there at the edge of the window to be certain to be seen? Now, one question I would say is this. Hey, why do we take that hairbrush and let's do some DNA testing on the hair? My guess is it'll be hair to somebody completely unrelated. Maybe hair from somebody in Michigan. Maybe Barry Morphew's hair. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Be botanical. Staged picture, like the Coke table in the Johnny and Amber trial. The unused, no residue, Johnny's box with his name. 100% be botanical. Thank you. It's a great analogy or parallel. Yes, it's exactly what I'm saying. This image here is so staged for presentation. It is not naturally occurring. Now, one thing that I'm going to say really stands out. The location of the Truly can, that's staged. The hairbrush standing perpendicular to the opening of the car, staged. The charger, without question, staged. And then this white shirt or whatever towel or whatever it happens to be. I want somebody to tell me something. This is underwater, right? How is it that it got mashed down right here? Like all the way down? There's nothing laying on it. How did it get mashed down? It wouldn't have unless someone mashed it down. This is in fact, you can see if you look at the purse, this is going to take some imagination on your part, okay? You can see the handprint on this purse where someone pushed it down. See right here? There's a finger. Right there. There's a finger. Right there's a finger. And then I don't know if that it looks like a thumb, and you can almost kind of see like an outline of a wrist. Somebody mashed that down, and this was mashed down. It is what it is, people. So I'm not a good candidate for gaslighting. Yeah, you got to push the air out so it won't float around. That's exactly right, Michelle. Yes. Somebody's handprint has pressed the purse down, and then the towel or shirt or whatever it is, somebody pushed that down to get the air out of that. Right? All right. Let's see what Sasha said. Also, this is full of water. Why aren't these items floating? Yeah. Don't know. Like the can of Truly. It must be a full can. Or, somebody worked with it and got it full of water. These items were pressed down. The air pushed out of them so they would stay. It is unreal, William. It's just it just makes me sick to my stomach because it's real. Like this isn't weird conspiracy craziness. It's strange. It is the visor. Oh, is it the visor? Is that what that? Maybe you could be right that it. Yeah, let me look at that. Yeah, I think it's the visor. It's weird that you can't see like I think it is the visor, y'all. Ah! I hate when I do that. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to redo this right here. Yeah, it's the visor. See? Right where the yeah. Okay, that's a perfect picture right there. I mean, that's super clear. You can see the finger, you can see where the finger's pressed into the foam on the visor. That is so weird. No, maybe it's not the visor. Another thing really clear. Why is the charger, why does it have anything growing on it? The can is still like shining. well, maybe it's not the visor because I'm turning my computer upside down. No, that's not the visor. Where's the door? If it's the visor, then you're going to see the other one on the other side, right? Let's look. Do y'all think that's the other visor? No, it's not enough space, y'all. That's not enough space because we can use the MacBook charger. We can use that to judge distance. No, I don't think that is the visor. I thought it was for a second, but I don't think so. Because there's the where you would open the door. If this was the visor, wouldn't it be further up here? Uh-uh. That is not. That can't be the visor. Yeah, you see. Oh man, right perfectly where we were looking at. She made her screen big. Shoot. Plunder. There we go. And now court TV's mess. My goodness. No, that can't be the visor. See how this is at the middle of the window. The visor would be way up here. Y'all see what I mean? So it's not. That is not the visor. It's a purse of some sort. Looks like. Man, it's so upsetting and sad. Okay, so you see how the charger is running perfectly parallel to the purse. I was trying to see if we could see anything else further up here. But you see how filthy and dirty everything is? I mean, all the silt has already started resting. Look at where it rested along the edge of the car top here, right? It's already drifting into the car and building up like a snowdrift. But look how relatively clean these items are. Look at it's just almost pristine how clean it is. The Truly can is perfect so that you can see what it is. You can see how well this is lined up. Look at that. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, that is not the visor. There's the cord here. It's pretty amazing to me. Look right here. You see right there? You can see where algae's already growing here. It's amazing how quickly the stuff all grew up. Okay. So I did for a minute I did think that might be the visor, but I don't think that is. Okay. Now then, yeah, I think it's a purse, Stephanie. Yeah, or William. I do. At first, I thought I was wrong. I thought, no, 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 maybe that is the visor. But you can see this full perspective back here. This is the little divider where you open up the car, like between the front seat and the back seat, right? And so, no, that's a purse that somebody's placed or a little bag. That's the charger. Some sort of maybe hairbrush. Notice that the air has been pushed out of this towel or shirt, whatever kind of fabric that is. The air was pushed out of it. And then the Truly can that is so clean that you can read every word on it. You can read every word on the Truly can. The can even looks shiny. Why? Why? It's a dab ring bag and a pack of raw cones. What does that mean, honey? I don't know what that means, Cinnamon. Explain that to me, please. So Woody, okay, so I agree with you, Woody. Catfish swam in and out of that window for 2 weeks, probably bumping into things. Sure, I agree that the wildlife will take over very quickly. I agree with you about that. However, the original point of my video here is I recognize this picture that you're looking at right here is super uncomfortable for me. When I look at this, I feel uncomfortable. And I couldn't figure out what about it was upsetting to me. And then I got to thinking about like at Christmas when I put out Santa Claus or, Easter when you're putting out Easter baskets, right? You don't just lay the stuff out there like, here's your present, come get it. When I do it, I make it like a presentation. Like the gifts all go together. There's like a theme. And so it gets presented in a way that's like pleasing and it all goes together. And so it looks really fun. Right. And so when I started looking at this, I said, holy hell, these items didn't just come to lay here after taking a tumble through the air. These are items that were placed specifically here by the window to be seen, I believe. Some kind of little bag, and Cinnamon says that it's a dab bag. I don't know what that means, but that's what she said. Or perhaps it's like a cosmetic bag, little white purse of some clutch of some sort. The charger is parallel to the bag. See? Exactly parallel. The brush, it's parallel to the bag and the charger. Same exact direction, almost to the millimeter. And the Truly can is placed in a way that you would make no mistake that when you saw it, you would say, that is an alcoholic beverage. The can is even shiny. Look right here. See that line right there? I believe that's the reflection of the light that they're using. The can remains shiny. That's crazy, y'all. On this bag, you can actually see a handprint. Well, you can see a little bit there, like a ridge there and a ridge there. But the picture I had earlier, you could see really, really well the handprint. Another thing I want you to pay close attention to is, you see how dirty this is with built up like algae or something? Y'all see that? Okay, now I want you to look from right here to right here, especially right here. Especially. What is that? Did a person lean into it? Was a person holding on and so it wiped that algae clear? Look at you can see that dividing line. It's almost kind of rounded a little bit. See what I'm talking about? Someone was down there at this car when it was underwater. There's no doubt in my mind, y'all. Look at this. Look at the buildup along here. And then look where it cleans up. Watch. You can totally see where somebody wiped it. See right there? I don't mean they wiped it on purpose. I don't mean they took their hand and meant to clean it. That's what I mean. I mean, like maybe they were reaching for something that was inside the car. Or they were trying to hold leverage so that they could place these items and hold them down until they came to rest instead of floating away. This item right here, this fabric was mashed down, mashed the air out of it so that it would stay put. You have a handprint on this little bag here. So that, I'm not very good. I'm not a very good candidate for gas lighting. I know what I know, and people can't like manipulate me and make me change my mind about what I know. Even from this angle, you're still looking at the parallel here to here. This is the highest part of the bag right here, which ostensibly you would expect would have algae growing on it. Why is that almost clear, but this has got dirt on it? Like someone picked up a handful and put it on top, maybe to hold it down. It's just extraordinary. It's really something. All right, I'm going to go back over here and look and see what Sediment is telling me, because yeah, please don't get me wrong. I don't know who placed these items. I certainly do not know why they place his items, I don't know. I have zero idea, but I recognize what my eyes are seeing. I know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 4 objects that have been intentionally placed, and the reason that I believe they've been intentionally placed is because they're all parallel to one another or perpendicular to the opening of the car perfectly. We did. No way in hell I would have said this if it had been one item. Hell, I don't even think I would have said it if it'd been 2 items. We're talking about 4 items all in a row: a purse, a charger, a brush, and an alcohol can. There's no mistake, y'all. At some point, you have to accept what your own brain is perceiving. If you just go through your life sleepwalking and letting people tell you what you're looking at, tell you what you should believe, then you're not going to have much faith in yourself at the end of the day. You've got to believe, you have to believe what you see, okay? This is quite compelling. It is very difficult to look away. That car was sitting at the bottom of the lake for 2 weeks. You had 20,000 man hours, 3 different law enforcement counties, police departments, FBI, professional divers, novice divers. You had helicopters, you had drones, you had underwater drones. Don't tell me that they didn't see this car. This right here is proof that someone did. And the big problem of people diving in the water and then going down and retrieving things out of the silt that law enforcement left behind. Law enforcement wouldn't even come out and collect the items when they were called. They didn't want the items. I don't believe they wanted this car. Now, I may sound a little passionate about this, but don't misunderstand why. The emotion is because people are bullying and making fun of those who are looking at reality and saying, hey, this is reality. Something's wrong here. And people going, oh, you're a horrible person. Leave the family alone. You're victimizing the family. No, I'm not victimizing the family. I'm not even talking about the family on any level. I'm saying to you, this car was underwater for, 14 days or more. Supposedly nobody had any idea where it was. And yet someone managed to bring 4 specific items, and place right by the window so they wouldn't be overlooked once AWP was on scene. Why? Everybody wants to say, oh, how dare you? Oh my goodness. I can't believe you're talking about people, a YouTuber, Zanime, who's just out paddling around, just enjoying the sunshine. I can't believe that you're taking issue with Rando Rodni, who said that Kiely was really, really intoxicated earlier in the day, quote unquote. I can't believe you do. How dare you? They're just participants on YouTube. Look, if you really enjoy the whole true crime discussion that happens here on YouTube, then you will already know and accept that it is well known with the FBI and other professional law enforcement that the criminal perpetrator often returns to the scene of the crime. It is expected that that perpetrator will try to gain the trust of people that are in the know, maybe a law enforcement officer, maybe a family member, but they will try to gain the trust, insert themselves so that they have access to a pipeline of information. What have the cops found? What are people saying to the cops? And then the second part of that is so that they can control the narrative. So that if the cops do stumble upon something that looks fishy, then they can redirect the cops' attention to another direction. SF investigates. All I know is that he's engaged in some very unusual behavior. He said things that were blatant lies. He was the very first one to go after AWP when what AWP was come in and save the day, give answers to this poor family. This is some really, I'm telling you, this is quite disturbing. Quite disturbing. All right. If the laptop was underwater that long, you would think those stickers would be coming off or faded a bit. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Amanda. Maybe that would be a really good experiment to try. And I would caution you, if you were gonna try the experiment, be sure to use salt water. Look up the concentration of not salt water because it's fresh water. Be sure to. I mean, if you lived in the area, the best experiment would be to go collect the actual reservoir water down by the silt, and then put a sticker on aluminum and it submerge it in water for 14, 21 days and see what the effect is. I just don't know. But the reason why I felt like this was a video worthwhile, that we needed to look at, everyone, that we need to look at this, is because this is the kind of thing that you can't be gaslighted. This is the kind of thing you're either going to look at this, you're going to see those parallel lines, those perpendicular lines, the alignment to the opening of the window. You're either going to see it or not. And if you see it, how are you going to let someone convince you that four objects managed to land perfectly parallel to the window opening to be sure to be seen? How are you going to explain that? Don't allow. Look at let me show you this. Okay, if you follow the truly can right here, okay, and you go straight across, where do you end up? The very bottom of the charger. Look at that. Now, that wasn't put there planning to do that. It's just what happens when you're organized and you're placing things. Your eyes see it and you just automatically try to align it if you have that kind of eye. It almost looks like two. Does it look like two fingerprints? One here and one here? Are those fingerprints where somebody maybe pushed that down? See what I'm talking about? Here and here. Man, it's so troubling. It is so troubling. So troubling. right. You can see this here. The sand is up over the edge here. What do you think? Is that a footprint there? Does that look like a boot print? What do y'all think? Is that a boot print? Look how weird that is. Maybe another one right here. Scrub foot gear. Yeah, Denise, we need Kiely's phone. But if that is in fact her MacBook, it will be paired to her phone, so they'll have that information. It is so weird, William. It is so weird. Absolutely. Maybe a magnet. Okay, yeah, sure, critters. That's a great idea. This whole case. It is so weird. And one of the weirdest parts for me is how people they just want it to be an accident so bad. It they it's like they are they're just so invested in that it's an accident that they're actually ignoring reality. It's really so disturbing. Hey Gigi, welcome. Go back, see what shoes Anime has on in her kayak post. Yeah, that's a good idea. But you know what we would have to do too? We'd have to look back to the whole video of Nick and to see if he was down. Was this the first time he was at this window? I think it was, right? So crazy. It's a crazy case. But I don't know how you have all this silt, all this gross stuff on the ground here, and then you've got your iPhone charger or your MacBook charger sitting right on top of all the icky gunk. The brush is on top of the icky gunk. The can is on top of the icky gunk. The purse has got a little bit of icky gunk on it, but not like this. Look at that. Look how thick that is. Look at back over here, how thick it is. It's chilling. Someone was here, y'all. There's that is just look at the layer of the grossness. See the pencil right here? You see how much is built up on this car on the outside sill? But look at the inside of that car. Look at the depth. This is a pencil. Wait, where'd it go? Hold on. There's a pencil there. Hold on. Hold on. Where's the pencil? Oh, maybe I didn't go back far enough. The pencil is see how thick that growth is? Okay, see the pencil here on the right? It's like a black color. And then there's a broken pencil right here that's white. There's the eraser here, right? Look at how thick all that silt is right here. Look at it. It's a bunch, right? And it's even going over the pencils. You can see it where it's growing up over the pencils. Okay, what's different between that side and the side I just showed you? Oh, agreed, Teresa. 100% agree with you. Hi, Brittany. This looks like product placement on a movie set. The can weed bag is like foreshadowing in a high school English class stage scene. No build up. This is the kind of thing that you stand your ground and you don't let people gaslight you, right? You cannot let people tell you that you're not looking at what you're seeing there. Your eyes can see that. You know who else's eyes can see that? Nick with Adventures with Purpose. His eyes saw it too. And he was disturbed. That man was disturbed. I think it was 100% on purpose, Sandra. It's I don't know. I don't know how you somebody needs to answer. No, he wasn't acting. Oh no, gosh. Post office prints. The man's veins were standing up on his head. You can't fake that. That's the real deal, right? Because your blood pressure's going up so high. Absolutely desired. Thank you, Kit Kat. Yeah, but you know what I think it was, Diane? I think he didn't he was aware that the camera was rolling, and I think he didn't know how to say what he wanted to say, right? I We don't really know what he actually finally broke down and said. I think he was trying to figure out how much do I say? How much do I tell? So, no, it's bad. He Right, Sky Blue. I'm with you. It was pretty traumatizing to see him and the level of trauma that he was experiencing. And then you get SF investigates and someone else come out and say horrible things about AWP. I mean, mind-boggling that you would, oh, well, you're not my hero. You're no hero of mine. Really? These people on their own dime came and found a missing girl. It- where is the thank you? Where are the tears of gratitude? No, and not that that's what they wanted. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the reaction we got was 100% different than what was expected, what a normal reaction would be, right? It's so strange, girly girl. It is so strange. Yeah. That so my point here. You have eyeballs. You can see this. This is recorded. It's memorialized by AWP. We can trust AWP. You can see the amount of buildup in this picture as compared to the amount of buildup on the other side of the car where it was almost just solid black, correct? Don't allow yourself to be gaslit. Truth is truth. Facts are facts. These are facts. What you're looking at right here are facts. The fact is, we are looking at a MacBook charger that is lying exactly parallel to a white bag with a handprint. That white MacBook charger is also lying parallel to a hairbrush that is lying perpendicular to a truly can that's kind of shiny when everything else inside that car is coated with algae. Facts are facts. It's not a sun visor. I already looked, Woodywood. It's not. It's right in the middle of the door. It's not a sun visor. Okay. Can I zoom in, Paula? Absolutely. Hold on. It's pretty crazy. Just crazy. It's so hard to believe. It looks like maybe this is a round brush. But I hadn't seen a round brush in a long time. Do people still use round brushes? See right here, you can clearly see where it was white by something. I mean, it could have been a catfish, right? Like a real live catfish. But there's dirt pushed up over the edge here. See right there? I think there's nothing on that phone, that charger. And that same thing for that Truly can. And that looks like a round brush right there. But look how thick the silt is that all this is lying on. Strange. So strange. People are strange. People are strange. When you're strange, no one knows your name. When you're strange, when you're strange. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Look at the thickness of that algae. Really interesting. Okay, you see, there's a pencil here, and here's a pencil here, and you can see the buildup of the algae. It's even on these pencils. See where it's really built out big here? Back over here. It's a lot of algae buildup. Why does it? Why it doesn't? Why doesn't it look like that over on the charger and the Truly can? Look at the buildup on the window. You see how much? You see how much it's already growing on the window? You can actually get a really good view if you look down at all the silt and algae that's already growing down here. Why doesn't it look like that on the other side where those items are? That white purse? Or if people want to say it's the visor, I'm okay with saying it's the visor. I don't mind that. Why why isn't it also as filthy? There are some white items in there in here, but you can see how much algae is growing on it. If you look right here, you see how long some of those pieces of algae are? But we don't get that same growth on the charger and the brush and the Truly can. Not even close. Look how green this is. The other side, it looks to have been wiped off. I don't mean cleaned, but just like maybe somebody brushed against it. Come on, go past that. It doesn't even look like the same car, does it? What do y'all think? How can you account for that? Remember Natalie Holloway case where you were in Vandersloot, dad helped him. It's a stretch a kid's parents might have helped. Oh, I've said that from the beginning. That something went wrong, um, and somebody called dad, and dad came to fix things. Maybe two dads. Yes, desired. Really unique. Very. I would love to have a linguist listen to that. Really unusual. Yeah, I know. I did notice that, Patricia. I think you're right. Patricia said Nick brushed a few windows to see in. He also may have brushed against. He also may have brushed against the window edge to see through the front seat. Absolutely, Patricia. Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you. Thank you for that. This is so damn weird when she does that. I don't know what you're talking about. It is disrupted growth of the algae. And it's what disrupted it, Angelina? Um, More sunlight on one side of the car. Okay. Kind of like moss growing on one side of the tree. Okay, that makes sense. I can buy that. Sure. Does algae grow more on certain materials? I would probably guess yes, would be my guess. But I mean, this is a lot different. And these are a lot of different textures. Like you've got the smooth plastic of the charger, you've got the metal on the hairbrush, the wood part or plastic part of the head brush. Then you got an aluminum can. They're all pretty clean compared to everything else that's there. Yeah, Kit Kat, absolutely. There you go. I still kind of think these items have not been underwater as long as the car. Let's look. Let's check and see. We got 276 people in here. If y'all don't mind, I hope you'll answer. If you believe that these items were added after the car had been underwater, put a one. If you think that the laptop and these other items have been underwater the same length of time as the car, put a two. Let's see where we are. I hope you'll all give us an answer to trying to give us a good idea, account for everybody's opinion of this. Um, different times. Okay, so Four English Lies says they all went in at the same time. Post office says they all went in at the same time. Wow, look at that. So many people believe that they went in at two different times. My goodness. Thank you, Just Me, for being honest. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, Freudian. Um, there's nothing blocking sunlight. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Muffin Top is on the case. Thank you, Muffin. Um, yeah, it is weird. Yeah. Thank y'all for answering. I appreciate that so much. Well, I mean, I would tell you, I think the whole theory of the sunlight, it sounds like a good one to me. I'm fine with that. But boy, this is a dramatically different picture than the other side of the car. I mean, it's not just a little bit, it's dramatically different. These items are placed intentionally, right? I mean, it looks like product placement, really. So I mean, this is just here's my request to all of you guys, even those of you that are kind of quiet in the background lurking. Don't allow yourself to be gaslighted. You have eyes, you have thoughts. Your perception of what we're seeing is just as good as anybody else's perception. So don't be swayed from one side or another. Make your own decision based on what your perception is showing you, not on what whether you think cops can be corrupt or not. That's not really the question in this live. The question isn't do the cops have the capacity, are they capable of being corrupt? Is there something, could it be possible that something bad could be happening in a little town called Truckee? None of those matter. The only thing that matters for this live, I want you to look at this picture and I want you to notice these items and I want you to ask yourself, does this look like the chaotic aftermath of a car flipping? Or does this look like someone who staged an aftermath of a car flipping? No gaslighting, no expectations, just fact. Go with your gut, look at this, and trust your own eyes. Oh, absolutely, Donna. Yeah. I don't think it's inconclusive. I think you cannot deny the the look at the length of the truly can being exactly in line with the bottom of the charger. It just that didn't happen. Chaos that just didn't. Yeah, this is disturbing. It is. It's disturbing. Blonde says it was definitely staged. Hey, BBT, you just took this a whole step forward. Peeping sound as I back out. I'm saying what I just said. I do think there has been foul play. I think there held a lot more than just a few items staged. Oh, for sure, Superman. Um, but the reason, let me tell you this, Superman, the reason why this is really important to me, that I felt like it deserved its own video, it's so hard to deny your own eyes. You know what I mean? That all this other stuff, people can explain it away. They can call you names and try to shame you, try to stop you from voicing your opinion. But this, it's just fact. Like the fact is you're looking at this charger and a hairbrush and truly can, and it's so perfectly placed. It it's hard. You can't deny it. You just can't deny it. And it is the narrative, drinking, being high, smoking pot. Um, that came out day one. I mean, that we were we were taken by, the nose, like a bull, like we were all wearing bull horns to our nose, and just kind of led us along to what we were supposed to believe. And it is my opinion. Notice what I said, my opinion, that SF Investigates and a few others are online to try to lead us by our nose to the story they want us to believe. That's what's happening. And it's for Kiely, she deserves better. She deserves her truth, not this contrived, made up mess. It's just strange. All right. I am going to shamelessly pander and ask for thumbs up. I hope you will subscribe if you have not already. And if you think I'm full of it and you disagree, then please just go to the comments and tell me, explain what I got wrong. If from your point of view, explain to me where I went wrong. Okay. But at the very least, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, either one. Don't care which one. And please subscribe. I would appreciate that so much. I got bad vibes from Sammy from the beginning. Oh yeah, Sandra, I think so many did. I think there were so many that did. I've never believed she was drunk or high. I haven't either. The very minute that Rando Ronnie says, "Oh, she was really drunk from earlier in the day," I knew right then it was something. The story was wrong. And just like in the Chris Watts case, I stepped back. I said, "Hold on, this guy's obviously lying, like 100% lying." Um, and therefore we can't believe anything that's said. We can't believe anything that they're saying. We also know that Sammy lied. 100% she lied. How do I know? Why am I saying that? Because she said the black sweatshirt, the Lana Del Rey sweatshirt. But then law enforcement came out and said, we have video of Kiely at the party wearing her pink and white Odd Future sweatshirt. All right. One can of girl beer to stage as she was drunk. Well, let me tell you this, Post Office Prince. We've got the one can that very clearly says Truly. I mean, it looks like somebody even either put a brand new can or wiped that can off, but made sure we could see it, right? But others, I believe it may have been Anime, went up to the sanctuary and picked up about 7 or 8 can. No, it was SF. Oh my God, it was SF Investigates. He was up at the sanctuary, or was it Check It TV? Who went back up there and found, like on the road to Kylie's house, found the box and the journal? Wasn't that the same one that found all the Truly cans at the sanctuary? Right, Joy Catcher. Yeah. So Brittany thinks that it was Check It, went up to the sanctuary and ended up finding like 7 or 8 cans of Truly. Well, that's awfully convenient, isn't it? Especially you consider it's 2-3 weeks later. The cops' crime scene tape has already been thrown, pulled down. Supposedly the kids and their parents went out there and cleaned the whole setting up. So where did magically we come up now with another 7 or 8 Truly cans? Way too contrived in my opinion. Oh, cinnamon. You have no idea. You really don't know what I found. And I don't have the heart to do it publicly and put the information out there, but trust me, it couldn't be any worse. Verna did too, I think in a small pile. Verna, what that was the lady that was out there kind of helping him a little bit. I mean, they didn't know each other, but they like kind of met and then became friendly, right? I don't know who she is though. Does she have like a channel that she hangs out on YouTube, or like the Brian Laundry Monster can? Exactly like that, Willow. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Hey, Quintessence. The cops were never watching that late, honey. Kathy, you should go to Netflix and watch the series The Devil in Ohio. It's pretty good. All right. Every turn is a red flag. Yeah, this is so this right here, this picture we're looking at, man, it's so profound. It's one of those pieces of evidence you don't argue with. There's no way to argue with it. It just can't be argued with. And even in the first week, SD is 100% correct. In the first week after Kiely went missing, everybody's looking for her. The cops were allowing people to be out there swimming. Absolutely horrible. They didn't want this car found. There's a cover up happening. We have zero idea what it is that they're covering up. We don't know. We get in trouble when we start speculating on what the cover up could be, right? But hey, there is no doubt somebody went down and placed those items. I believe it in my heart. Oh, Blonde PT watched it all one night. You know what, Blonde? It was really good, wasn't it? It was so good. Yeah, I completely enjoyed it. I also really loved Terminal List. It was pretty intense, though. It was pretty hard to watch, but yeah, very good. We may never know. I hope we know. I hope we find out, Gigi. Somehow some good soul finds out truth. Maybe it'll be Kiely's dad. Kiely's grandfather is a civil engineer. These are smart people. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll be able to unveil the truth. Kiely deserves it. She should not have to spend eternity with the sign of drunk driver around her memory. Her sign should be, I was brilliant. I finished high school when I was 15, 16 years old. I was talented. Been playing the guitar for how long? I was a loving person. I was careful and I loved the environment. That's what her memory should say. Her memory should say, I was worthy. Not, I was the worst. I was a drunk driver. Yeah, I think the dad knows. And I'm with SD. I feel like dad and grandpa, they're the only two that seem to be having an accurate emotion, right? They seem to be the only two that are actually being logical and reacting in a way that makes sense. She certainly did, Angelina. Well put. Absolutely. Certainly did. It's just terrible. What did y'all think? And now I'm going to show my age here. Did y'all see? First of all, Sammy's beautiful. Okay, can we just call a spade a spade? She is. She's lovely. Very pretty girl. But I'm going to ask you a question. How painful was that tattoo between her boobs? Because there is absolutely no fat right there on your chest bone. I cannot imagine how painful that would have been. What do y'all think about that? I don't think I've ever seen a tattoo in between people's boobs. Yes, Scottie Nona, I 100% believe that they thought that they could get the car down into that deep hole that goes to 50, 55 feet deep, right? I think that's what they were trying for. Sammy gets off sociopathic vibes. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Joy Catcher. It is a tattoo that is like you know how if you have cleavage, you wouldn't really see the cleavage. It would be like the top of the tattoo would come out like an inch or two above the cleavage, and then it goes down, like you can see it goes on down in between the boobs. There's no fat there at all. I cannot imagine how painful it must have been to get. And like I said, I don't think I've ever seen anybody with a tattoo right there. That's why sailors had tattoos on their briskets to show they weren't weak and we're strong. Could be a fake tattoo. See a lot of it with Florida kids. Maybe. Angelina. Very tough, Be Botanical. That, yeah, not for the faint of heart. That was a badass that sat through that tattoo, right? Sammy dressed up for the cameras for the celebration of life. The dress was out of place. I mean, it looked like she was, going out for a night on the town. Yep. If someone can hurt an animal, that's one of the worst things. Yeah, but who are you saying hurt an animal, Lisa? Question I've had. I wonder if there were any tire tracks or any sign of the path the car took to get into the water. I don't know about that, Superman, but I know that if you go back to the footage of that day, you can see where the cops have laid out like a rectangle about the size of what would be a car, it looks like to me, but they've laid out like a rectangle further up, not on the road that she was possibly on, but further up to the left. So I don't know if they saw broken glass. I don't know if they saw tire marks, but AWP did say there were a lot of tire marks down there. So I don't know. But they definitely, without a doubt, they definitely did set out a perimeter, a smallish perimeter with crime scene tape. Another channel, someone called in saying, wait a minute. Sorry about that. On another channel, someone called in saying they knew Sammy and grew up in the same neighborhood. When Sammy was younger, she used to harm animals. Wow. Wow. Man. But that was a call in. We don't really know who said it, right? Someone that knew her. Someone called in saying they knew Sammy and grew up in the same neighborhood. Yeah, that's not good. She did not go into detail, but mentioned animals. Didn't Kiely's mom ask people on YouTube to stop talking about her? I am not talking about Kiely, other than to say that her legacy, that she's entitled to her reality. She doesn't have to be labeled as a drunk driver if she wasn't a drunk driver. Sammy had a friend when they were younger, like 5'10", that said she hurt animals and hurt her, and she had to get stitches. Oh my gosh. I think they dropped it in backwards off the tow truck. I'm kind of getting there, Sky Blue. I mean, to me, that seems pretty excessive. But things are weird, right? I mean, you can see the placement of the charger, the Truly can, and the hairbrush. This is very weird. Why would somebody do that? It's just not right. No, Katie. No, you're wrong about that. You're wrong about that. There's no shame on me. I'm not the one that didn't find the car when it was right under their nose. And I'm not the one that turned their back on AWP when AWP did the right thing and brought this young woman home to her family so they did not have to spend the next 40 years wondering what happened to their baby. He should have gotten they should have gotten a thank you for what they did for this family on their own dime. AWP paid for it themselves. So don't come in here virtue signaling. It's not appropriate. I don't know, Denise. I don't know. Chronicles of Olivia. I've been watching more of her videos lately. She's very good, and I like her editing and stuff's really pretty, really nice. Yes, Elizabeth Ross. I would agree with that. Wow. Rolled it off the tow truck and into the water, made it flip like that because it went in backwards. Well, I have a question for you, Katie. Why do you want to be in here? There are literally thousands, tens of thousands of YouTube channels that have all kinds of conversation, all types of conversation. There's you're there's no reason for you to come in here. We don't need a mommy or a grandmom to come in and try to, give us morals if that's what you think we need. I am talking about a car where somebody has gone down there and placed three items in clear view of the window weeks after it's already been at the bottom. You want to say shame on you? How about you go to the cops and say shame on you? Shame on you, Captain Sam Brown. Shame on you. Shame on you, Sheriff Shannon Moon. There's who you can wag your finger at, Katie. Don't go wagging it at me. I'm just putting out what I'm observing, and I know what my eyes tell me. Nobody's gossiping. Great way to respect the life and death of a child. Way to go. Well, I'm a lot better off than you guys are, Katie, who are labeling her as a drunk driver. Um, there is no reason at all, none whatsoever, to say she's a drunk driver, other than Sammy said she was drunk, and Rando Ronnie said she was drunk. I'm willing to say, wait a minute, maybe she's a brilliant young woman who finished her schoolwork at 15, would have been attending college at 16, who was a gifted child musically and was a great steward of the environment. And that is her legacy. That she was brilliant and she was beautiful and she was talented and she was a great steward of the environment. That is her legacy. I am not the one, Katie, who's wanting to say, guess what, Kiely? Doesn't matter that you were brilliant and talented. Only thing that matters is that we are forever going to turn you into a drunk driver. So, again, it's shame on you, Katie. It's not shame on me. Well, yeah, she's 18. The case is a cover up and things were staged in that car. We will talk about it because justice must happen. And we are not talking about Kiely. We care very much about Kiely. I was raised, you never wear white to a wedding and you never wear white to a death, which is reserved for the bride or the dead. AWP team is such a devoted, skillful team. They have grace, grit, and compassion. Very respectful team. Yeah, the reaction, the way that law enforcement and family and friends treated Adventures with Purpose is highly suspect. Highly suspect. They are the cavalry. They do deserve recognition for bringing her home to her family. I saw one random guy, but I don't know what lake he was at diving. Are you talking about Check It TV? He was diving there at Prosser Reservoir, right there where Kiely's car was identified, found by Adventures with Purpose. I'm sorry, Katie, but the word ain't isn't a word. Yeah, she's a gaslighter, Be Botanical. Well, interestingly enough, the mother is trying to stop the release of that information. I get the feeling that the dad would probably be happy to release the information. No, I'm not. I'm not. I know what I'm looking at. It's not rocket science to look at this picture and then look at the other side of the car. There is something wrong with the charger and the hairbrush and the Truly can. Somebody went down there and placed those items. That's all I need to know. Katie, please leave and go find a channel to preach to. This is not the place for you. Maybe the mom already knew what happened. I don't know. It is strange. I don't know. I can't speculate. I don't. I mean, it would just be a guess. I don't know, but I do know what my eyes see. I do know that those items are strategically placed. I do know that AWP comes in, locates the young lady, and instead of people saying thank you, they attack them and tell lies about them. That is not what I would expect from a mother who was terrified and didn't know where their child was. Usually, someone finds their missing child and they're grateful. I mean, it may be sad, it may be a time of grief, but they're really grateful to know, not to have to spend the rest of their life with a big question mark and searching everywhere they go. I mean, this saved them a lifetime of grief. It's profound that they found her. And it's worse that there were so many man hours put in, so many resources used, and they didn't find the car. It's just not right. It's just something is very wrong. AWP is so respectful and gracious, always a respectful team that work together and of good service to families and missing loved ones. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Look, I'm going to tell y'all, AWP has my full faith. Okay. And the reason, not because I'm blind or simplistic, but they have my full faith because they have developed a business that is very unique, right? It's really kind of the first time it's ever been done. And in order for them to be successful, they have to have our confidence because we are their boss. We are paying their salary. Every time we watch one of their videos, they're getting reimbursement. When we make a donation, a super chat, they're getting paid for their work. So they're smart guys. They know where their funding is coming from, and they recognize that if they lose our faith and our trust, then they also lose their source of funding primarily. They're not going to lie and mislead. They're not. Jared has already proven that. They're going to adhere. Number one, they're there for the families. That's the number one guiding force for them right now. They're there for the families. They're there for law enforcement. And then they're there to tell the story of what they did and how they found it, and how do you keep yourself safe, if if your car goes in the water. Their livelihood depends on their integrity and honesty. They have zero reason. Katie, you better listen up. This organization has zero motivation to come in and tell a lie about Kiely Rodni. Zero motivation. They called the only phone numbers that they had. You can hear very clear who they call, what they say. They're very polite. So you stop. If you're not smart enough to stand by your own eyeballs, then you really will not fit in here at this channel. You've got to be able to look at something and know what you're looking at instead of just this knee-jerk reaction. No, Kiely Rodni's mother does not get to dictate to millions of people around the world whether or not they can talk about the car that law enforcement swam over, flew helicopters over, and failed to identify. She can't stop that conversation, nor would it be appropriate to stop that conversation. Now, if people were sitting around talking about Kiely, telling gossip and stories about Kiely, then I'm the first one to jump up and down and say, stop, keep that child's name out of your mouth. You don't know her, you never knew anything about her, stop. That is not what is being discussed. What is being discussed is the car, the items that one can see in the car, the multiple screw-ups by Captain Sam Brown and his cronies, the failure to accept responsibility by Sheriff Shannon Moon, the unusual attacks on AWP when they were the cavalry that found the young lady. Those are the things that are being discussed, not Kiely. Yeah, the van guy they labeled a tow truck driver. Thank you. There you go, Be Botanical. Present your side or listen. Law enforcement, shame on you. It's 100% law enforcement. 100% shame on them. 100%. Oh, William, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Blonde says, you are not my real mommy, Katie. Do you think that Katie might actually be Sammy in disguise? Or it could be Jagger. Didn't Jagger say that AWP were clout chasers? Wow, that one didn't age well. Pointing out wrongdoing is not always popular. Don't we know that, Truth Seeker? My goodness, we definitely know that. Shame, shame. come on. We know they could have planned along with AWP, but they didn't. AWP reached out after much pleading. Yeah, I think it's always suspect when people ignore the experts in the room, right? When 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 you've got experts in anything, I don't care what it is. If when you have an expert and people choose to belittle the expert and overlook the expert, those are people that generally have something to hide, or they have a personality problem where they feel like, well, I don't want to recognize the expert. I'm just as smart as the expert. I know more than the expert knows. Yeah, we know who those people are. You should really make use of an expert. I mean, they're an expert for a reason, because they've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and research and reading and practice. And they have a special level of comprehension for whatever it is they're doing, that whatever their field is. Adventures with Purpose was a great resource for Captain Sam Moon and Sheriff Shannon, Sam Brown and Shannon Moon. They were a great resource. They could have learned so much from Doug and Nick and Jared. Well, Jared wasn't there, but Doug and Nick, right? They could have learned so much, so much. And what they did instead was to send the experts across the river, across the lake to the other side, get them out of the way, proceed to dump some of the contents, and God only knows what else, out of the car into the lake, and destroy evidence as they flip the car and drag it out. They had so annihilated the crime scene without memorializing it first. How would they ever even go to court and present any of the evidence? So was it all by design? Because I have never seen an organization, a professional law enforcement organization, be just a comedy of errors. One misstep after another. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. It's just a three-ring circuit of mistakes. First time I ever saw it. That's right, William. Shame on the police that covered up my little sister's case when she was 17 years old, has a brain injury from a DUI. Ugh, so sorry. No, a DD. I'm so sorry, Angelina. So sorry. There's a huge difference between gossip and pointing out anomalies in actual evidence. Yeah, we're like having a discussion about this photograph or video segment. And Katie, aka Sammy, aka Jagger, they're coming in to try to stop conversation. I am 44, but I called my mom crying because I remember calling her a B when I was a teenager. I was not allowed to go anywhere without a million questions and party, no concert, no. And now you get it, right, Elizabeth? Yeah. And I mean, you're 44, you've gotten it all along, but you know, I can't tell you how many nights I've stayed awake waiting for my beautiful, intelligent, talented little girl to come home from nothing nefarious, just a normal night out with friends, right? Just what every kid does, right? But as the mom, you sit there and your brain, you go through these mental gymnastics, and you think, oh gosh, please keep her safe, please keep her safe, please watch over her. and you're kind of on edge. And then when finally her lights, pull in to the driveway, then you can relax and then you get to go to bed. This is what you fear. If you're that mom, this is exactly what you fear. You exactly fear you wake up in the morning and your daughter hadn't come home, or your son. You wake up in fear that something horrible happens and no one helps them. I mean, this is in fact a mother's worst nightmare. It's the worst nightmare that a mother can have. And I believe that's one reason that this story resonates with so many people, because we've all been there. We all love our daughters. We all remember what that was like to wait up all night, And then as soon as Sammy began making the rounds, her interviews were so terrible. She's so her manner of speaking, it just seems it was just a bad idea for her to go and do these interviews. It's just a bad idea. A lot of people reacted badly to the things that she had to say. And then it was absolutely shocking when AWP shows up. They're redirected away from Prosser. And then when they finally do go into the lake, they find her less than 35 minutes. You can't make this up, y'all. This is a story that the angels are fighting desperately to put out. The angels want this story told. Whoever did this, they don't want them to get away with it. I don't know how many things the angels have to reveal for someone in power to stand up and go, hey, you know what? Remember that Kiely Rodni situation? I think we better take a closer look. Something's wrong here. It's really, really sad. Really, really sad. This isn't, here's another a part of Katie coming in. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you. People that actually do care, people that are actually heartbroken over what's happened, they get this story, Kiely's story. It is not about Kiely's mother. It isn't. This is Kiely's story. And so far, they have tried desperately to avoid having her story told. Your grandkids, right? You thought you were all done being worried, Diane. Nope, you got another generation now. What is done in the dark will come to the light. I hope, Be Botanical. I hope. Yep. I hope. All right, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. And again, we're not gossiping and we are not being disrespectful. We are looking and saying, what do my eyes see? And my eyes see 3 objects relatively clean and untouched by the algae and the silt that have been placed in a strategic location. That has meaning. Don't let anybody gaslight you. Don't let anybody make you disbelieve your own eyes. Think for yourself. I think there are many people that are on YouTube that have an agenda. And that agenda would be stop talking about this case, which tells me I think we need to talk more. As I said, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. And if you disagree with me I would really, really love for you to leave me a message, a comment, and just explain what you think I got wrong. Okay, just explain it how you see it, and that's that. All right. Y'all have a really good evening. I hope you sleep well. And if you have to work tomorrow, guess what? So do I. No. All right. I'll see you again. I will return. Bye bye.